Holy snikes. Okay, everybody. I had no intention whatsoever of doing any Atomic Mass Games videos today or really even this week. I kind of messed up. I forgot that we still have two characters outstanding from panel to play for the rest of the year. Not counting the Hydra tank, 'cause that's in January of 2023. But for the rest of this year, we still have the new rival panels set with the Wolverine and Sabretooth, the Apex Predator, right? So we have two other characters, new models, new rules, and even a new affiliation, which I believe they said it was the Weapon X program. And I had not counted on, while I'm uploading videos and working on editing, for them to drop the panels. Totally forgot about it. And we got it. And boy, is it good. I mean, we're talking juicy good. Like, I am surprised how good they did this. So let's take a look. I don't know why I'm whispering. So we have Logan, the Wolverine, versus the other version of Wolverine, just called Wolverine, that came out about a year or so ago, or 2 years ago, I think now. That was the Sabretooth and Wolverine set. So Logan, the Wolverine, still James Logan Howlett, has a 4 physical, a 4 energy, and 2 mystic defense. And we are going to do a slight side-by-side comparison after we go over his new character card. But so far, he has a very robust defense that seems to be in line with his actual Marvel character, right? Though I still think that that might be a little high on the energy, but you know what? I don't care. That kind of ties still in with his healing factor. Yes, he has a healing factor, and I'm getting sidetracked. He has 6 health. He is size 2, which will have some significance. We'll get into that in here in a minute. But size 2 is normal. 6 health, medium movement, normal, and a 4 threat. Really inexpensive. Really inexpensive, especially once we get into his powers. So he has 2 attacks. One is a builder, one is a spender. So the builder is the X slash. This is a range 3, which is a pretty good close combat attack. Excuse me, range 3, 5 dice, 0 cost. What you'd expect. Now, after the attack is resolved, there are 2 things that are going to happen. First, you are going to get power equal to the damage that you actually dealt, which with 5 dice is pretty gosh darn likely. And then you get to move within range 1 of your target character. This is a free movement tied in with a free attack. Well, you have to spend an action, but it doesn't cost any power, and you're probably going to gain power. And you don't have to do anything to trigger this free movement beyond just using the action. Placed within range 1 of the target character. That doesn't mean like from point A to right in front of the target character. Within range 1. And if I'm wrong about that, please point it out in the rule book. But if I'm moving within range 1, as I read the rules as written, I could be within range 1 on the other side of him. Right? Maybe. I think so. All right, moving on. It also has a wild symbol for Pierce. So if you get the Pierce ability or you roll the wild symbol, you're going to get the Pierce, which is going to reduce one of the defending characters' critical successes, their shield symbol or the wild symbol for their defense rolls to a blank. So for most defending characters, that's not good. Now, there are some characters out there that do benefit from having the blanks count as successes for their defenses, but not a lot. Now, his spender power or spender attack is the Tornado Claw. And this is a doozy. This is a really good one, regardless of this movement that we'll talk about. It is a beam 3 range attack. So beam 3. So everything along that line for that range 3, right, is going to take 7 dice. So you're going to roll those individually. It does cost 4 power, but that's beam 3, 7 dice, and 4 power for everything along that beam. Now, first up, after all attacks generated by this attack have been resolved, so let's say you hit 3 people for some reason, you got lined up, or let's just say 2 people. Then after those two people have had their 7 dice worth of attacks and defenses and everything, you're going to place this character within range 1 of the last character that got hit by that attack. So you are getting a very good movement. It's basically the same thing as you're getting with the X slash, but now you're doing more dice and hitting more people. On top of that, you have pierce and bleed. So if you roll a wild symbol, then you're going to get the pierce, which we've already covered, and then you're going to inflict bleed special condition, which not a lot of people are immune to bleed, and they're going to take it. So it's a really good 4-cost power, really good. So let's get into his first superpower. What I do isn't very nice. This is a 3-power cost, so not too high, not too low. It's a good sweet spot, especially when you take into consideration what you get out of it. It does require you to burn an action, no biggie, because the character immediately makes an X slash. We've already covered the X slash attack action. After that is resolved, if your target character is size 3, you're going to throw them range S. So you're getting your X slash. So you're doing your 5 dice of damage. You're gaining, hopefully, power off of the damage that you dealt. You're getting the free movement. And now you're throwing somebody for 3 power. You likely, with that attack, earned 1 or 2 of those power back. And you're going to be tossing somebody around. Not too bad for 3 power. Only once per turn, but who cares? You're going to get free movement and deal some damage and throw somebody. Really awesome. Now, the one thing, and please put it in the comments below, I'd love to hear your guys' insight on this, is what is the order of operation? Now, this is kind of a quiz question. What is the order of operation for this? So you immediately make an X slash attack action. After the attack is resolved, you throw them. So do you do the damage dealt, gaining the power, and then the range 1, move within range 1, and then throw them? Or do you throw them because you're using this power first, and then you get your power from any damage dealt, and then move within range 1? I think the first option, that's the way I'm going, but there are some people out there that could argue otherwise. But I think to me, it's clear cut, but I'd like to hear your guys' opinion on it, just because, I like your guys' insight. You guys usually have some really good insight. Even if it counters mine, it makes me think, oh, Dark Cow, you're right. Like that. All right. Shout out to Dark Cow there. So he's got 4 innate ability, really kind of 5, but 4 categories. So we have Adamantine Skeleton. He counts as size 3 for the purposes of being thrown or pushed. That's a carryover from the original character. He has got a new one called Get Out of My Head, which I think this is a good balance for everything you're getting out of this character. And it's very, it fits with the theme of the character and what we've seen in the comics. So the first time this character gets damage from an enemy mystic attack, which is usually a mental style attack, and it can only happen at the start of each turn. So the first time he gets attacked in that turn, after the attack is resolved, if you have any allied characters within range 3 of this character, they suffer 1 damage and they can get 1 power for that damage. It's based on him freaking out and trying to shake him off and going a little berserk. Really cool. I think it's a good balance ability or negative penalty in there. Obviously, I wouldn't want it, but to get all that stuff for a 4th threat, okay, I'll take it. Then he's got On the Hunt, which I think is another good ability. As long as there's no allied characters within range 3 of him, he gets to reroll up to 2 of his attack dice. I think that's a cool ability. This character really strikes me like Taskmaster, kind of like Baron Zemo. The new Captain America, Steve Rogers Captain America that just came out with the original Human Torch. They all strike me as character hunters. You really don't use them to go capture objectives. You use them to hunt down other characters. You squeeze them into your list to go after other characters. And I think this helps make Logan, the Wolverine, a character hunter. Let me know what you think. Then his last 2 abilities, all tied into one category, is his Healing Factor 2 and his immunity to stun. So let me pull up his original character and we'll take a look at some of the differences. So comparatively, sorry about that. Let's do this and do this. Let me pull up this in the right screen here. There we go. Make sure we got this all right here for you guys. So the original Wolverine character, still same name. So we lost one wound. Not a big deal, especially for what we got, because in kind of a trade-off, we got one extra physical or one extra energy defense. Cool. Take it. Now, the differences between, say, the X slash and adamantine slash is really, at the end of the day, is the range. Range 2 versus the new range 3. They still get the same amount of power, but you're not the original. You got the bleed on a critical success or a wild symbol, where in this one does not have the basic attack, does not have bleed. You're actually getting that free movement. I think that is a win over the original adamantine slash, because more range and free movement out of it, even if it's depending on, regardless of if it's up to or within one range 1 on the other side of the character or anywhere around him, or just up to him in between, you know what I mean? Regardless, that free movement, I think, trumps the bleed. Now, the Berserker Barrage is his spender. It is relatively the same, except this was only range 3, not beam 3, so you're only targeting one character, and it is one less power, but same amount of dice. Now, this one is did have a free movement, so you get to place this character within range 1, just like the Tornado Claw, so they both have that similarity. And this one, though, if you did some damage, so you had to do damage, you got to throw the target character, if they're size 3 or less, short range. Cool. That was actually a good one. This one, the Tornado Claw, you're getting Pierce and Bleed on that, and it's a beam 3, so you're hitting potentially multiple targets. I think that is a better power overall than the ability to throw, because we're starting to see some characters pop up now and then, maybe one out of every 4 that have some sort of resistance to being thrown or pushed. So, and to be able to do the beam 3 physical attack, I think is really good. Now, he had adamantine skeleton, so we're going to skip that. The healing factor 2 and immunity stun, both characters have that. The only other thing that the original Wolverine character had was the best at what I do. 3 power cost. The action makes a move action followed by his adamantine slash. That's very similar to what I do. Isn't very nice, because you're getting your X slash, which gives you movement. So really not much of a loss there. Same power cost. The only other difference that kind of trumps the new one is when making this attack, when you had those not only the critical successes could potentially count as 2 successes. The wild symbols automatically counted as 2 successes. So you had a greater success rate with that adamantine claw than the X slash. But I still think the X slash overall is better, because you're getting a movement out of it. What I do isn't very nice versus the best at what I do. I think overall it is a much more efficient version of the original. So that's my personal opinion. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Put it in the comments below. I'm super excited. Did not expect that to happen. I was very much thinking, okay, Wolverine's going to be kind of bland. He's going to have some claw and I'm so angry and I'm going to heal up. But this is a very economical character. A lot of economy of action. You're getting multiple things for little to no cost. I think very good character overall. I think he's by far superior to the original Wolverine. Let me know in the comments below. You guys have yourself a wonderful day. I'll chat with you later. See ya.